Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Marble Racing. We are here at race number 6, halfway through the pre-season at Minty Mania. This is another map that's actually made by Boer, one of our racers. And King Barto with some talk in the chat already, looking for another win after the last stream. Hoping to take the win on this track as well. So since the last season race, we actually have some newcomers that you may have seen in the showcase. We have 4 new people to join us, which means the first 20 spots are now taken. So there's no more access to the top 20 exclusive marbles for the first 20 followers. This track is quite similar to the last track actually. It's a similar build design, however it has some differences. So if we go around the track, starts off with some nice easy bends, a few S-bends just to try and shake up the pack a bit. But then we come down to this drop. So in this drop you're going to want to take one of the 2 sides. Hitting this will give you a bit of time loss because you lose speed as you come into this straight. This straight then comes into a big sweeping bend here. And in some testing that I've done, this also makes quite a difference on how you enter and come around this bend. A lot of time can be lost here or gained depending on what angle you come in at. So you want a nice smooth run around here and then back up to the ladder. And as we all know, ladders can make a big difference to positioning depending on how you get the entry. That is right, King Barto. Lots of potential robberies on this track. Lots of areas to make time and lose time. So it should make for an interesting race. So we have 10 laps on today's race. So let's get the marbles loaded in. Unfortunately for you, King Barto, it doesn't look like there's any particular areas you can just get stuck. So you don't have to worry about that today. So looking at the marbles we have, so the new ones joining us for this race forward, we have Muffin the Bunny taking the last of the exclusive marbles. We have Demon Lover K-pop, Vex Stormy and Cutsy J. So they'll be looking to make a name for themselves. If you saw yesterday's showcase race, which was featuring a highway racetrack, which is still in development, I was looking at one of the earlier versions of it. Vex Stormy actually came through to take the win on the little casual race we did on that track. So will he be able to carry that through to this and take a win on his first debut race for the season? So with all that said and everyone ready in the starting positions, let's get this countdown going. And it's green and off they go, heading down to the first corner. Looks like Boer is going to take the first position here with Space Egg just behind and Ryder following in third. Everyone very closely packed together here. Vex Stormy with a bad start, sitting at the back of the pack currently. So it's now Boer, Ryder, Jake coming through as well. Magic Monkey, Space Egg's lost a few spots. School of Thugs hopefully planning to do better this race. School of Thugs has been having some trouble recently with performance on these races, so we'll see how they perform here today. As they come down to the drop, Boer drops down smooth, so does Ryder, Magic Monkey, Space Egg, King Barto, Jake, Buddo. Buddo losing some time on the drop. They're getting overtaken by a lot of people, losing a lot of spaces here. Some impacts here though. Skyline getting bounced back. As they go into the first ramp, everyone all over the place. Ryder taking the first spot, King Barto making some pace, but then losing 2 positions again to Jake and Boer. Magic Monkey Going a bit slower, Logan's going to gain. James coming down as well. How will they enter this ladder though? It looks like King Barto almost jumping onto that top section but didn't quite make it. Ryder and Jake will be side by side for that first spot. Everyone piling in here. So we have Boer, Wood, Buddo, James, Demon Lover, Shady, King Barto and Stanky side by side for that third spot. Then we have Space Egg, School of Thugs, Mario Hunter, T-Dub, Muffin the Bunny, Nick, Magic and Logan. Side effects, Skyline, Vex Stormy and Cutsy, and then currently in last place is Cheese. So they make their way up. Let's get a bit of a speed up here. We don't know how long these ladders can take to get up, especially when we have a tall one like this. As they make their way up to the top. Ryder currently with the fastest lap. Most of the time on these tracks, because the starting line is at the top and the finish is at the bottom, the fastest lap will be done on the first lap. And the following laps will usually be slower because of that ladder between the start and finish line. So Ryder making a breakaway here, Jake just behind. Then we've got James, Boer, Stanky, Shady, Demon Lover, Wood, Buddo and Nick all close together there, fighting to get into the top 5 spots into the points. Ryder down the drop. Jake as well. James, Boer, everyone avoiding that triangle in the middle. They make their way down. Oh, it looks like Wood got held up there. Nick flying through, giving Shady a hit there. Everyone taking different angles through here. Boer losing a lot of time on that bend. T-Dub Morris absolutely flying around the outside. Another overtake there. And flies straight in onto the ladder. T-Dub came from out of nowhere. I have no idea what position he was in, but he is now up fighting for first spot. So we have Nick, James, Ryder and T-Dub for that first spot competition on the ladder. Then we have Stanky and Jake. Then Demon Lover, Shady Plays, School of Thugs, Boer and Skyline side by side. Behind that we have Wood, Mario, Stormy, Space Egg, King Barto. King Barto actually losing quite a few spots here. And Muffin. Then side effects, Logan, Cutsy, Magic Monkey and Buddo. And then still at the back, actually losing some time by the looks of things, is Cheese. So as they make their way up the ladder once again, to go on to lap 3. We'll see who will make the best getaway at the top here. So it looks like Ryder the Spider is going to take that first spot with Nick just behind, T-Dub in 3rd and James in 4th. Behind them we've got Stanky and Jake coming round. School of Thugs closely followed by Demon Lover. Bad bump there. Skyline getting a bad bump as well, meaning Boer makes a bit of time taking one of those spots. Then we've got Shady, Muffin, King Barto, Stormy and Wood. So as the front runners come down to the drop, it looks like we've had a fall. It looks like James has fallen off on this bend. Didn't quite catch what happened there, but I think he might have gone too hard into this corner there, hit a bad bounce off the edge and managed to send themselves over the safety barrier, which means James is our first DNF of the day. As everyone makes their way around here, King Barto trying to pull these positions back as he flies past Boer, but a bad bounce off Jake there sends him back. He's now queued up behind Mario, gets pushed off once again, unfortunately losing a lot of positions from that bounce. Buddo and Logan coming in now. Cheese stealing that spot from Logan. Logan having to drop down a tier below. So at the top we actually have School of Thugs on the first spot going up the ladder. Then we have Ryder and Stanky side by side fighting for second. T-Dub, Nick and Demon Lover just behind that. Jake, Vex Stormy, and Boer. Then Mario Hunter, Skyline, Shady, Muffin, and Space Egg side by side there. King Barto, Side Effects, Wood, Magic, and Cutsy. Buddha Gaming, Quarantine Cheese, and then Logan at the back. So lots of position changes so far, and it's only lap 4 of the race. So anything could still happen. The School of Thugs makes a good run off away there. Stanky taking second spot, Ryder just behind in third. Got T-Dub coming round, and Demon Lover fighting with Nick, managing to hold that spot just in front. Boer, Jake, and Stormy all fighting for positions here, but Boer knocks Jake back. Space Egg and Shady sneaking in front of Mario Hunter. Then it's Skyline and Muffin. Cutsy, Wood, then Barto, Side Effects, Magic Monkey, Buddha Gaming, Cheese, and then Logan. As everyone is quite spread out on the track now. Boer getting knocked back on the corner there, that is not good. Everyone taking positions, but Boer gets back on track. Wood with a bad bounce as well. King Barto going around the outside. Slight knock from Magic Monkey. No positions gained though. There seems to be... oh no, it seems like it's School of Thugs. School of Thugs holds that top spot. I wasn't sure if Stanky managed to get into the same part of the ladder there, but it's School of Thugs on the top one. Stanky taking the second spot. Stormy and Ryder competing for third on the ladder. We have Magic Monkey, Wood, Cheese, and Logan following up from behind. So the top 4 starting to make a bit of a gap. Fighting for the final point, we have Demon Lover, T-Dub, Nick, Jake, and Mario in that 5th spot competition. Then we have Cutsy, Side Effects, Boer, Shady, and Space Egg, followed by King Barto, Skyline, then Buddo, Muffin, Magic, and Wood. Then at the back we have Logan and Quarantined Cheese. As School of Thugs drops off the ladder, followed by Stanky. Ryder and Stormy side by side, fighting for the 3rd spot. Looks like Ryder's carrying more momentum into that first corner. Now the fight for 5th. Mario getting a bump from the inside. Demon Lover just getting in front of Nick. Mario losing out on a few positions there. So we then have Cutsy, Boer, Shady, Space Egg, and Side Effects. So we get a bit of a overview here of the track. As Stormy has made a bit of a gap here, trying to get into that 3rd spot. Nick overtaking Demon Lover. Demon Lover losing some time there. T-Dub Morris potentially getting the rundown. So we head over to the sweeping bend. Demon Lover taking the high route, but actually carrying some good momentum there, getting past Stormy. A few of them bumping together here. Stormy fighting off Demon Lover, but cannot do enough. Nick then flying through while everyone's fighting for position. Mario also trying to make a push, but it's all about how they get onto the ladder. No one making onto that part of the ladder, so it's all to play for here between these. So School of Thugs extending the lead, holding that 1st spot on the ladder. Then 1 gap before Stanky in 2nd. Then there's a big 2 space gap on the ladder before the 3rd place spot, which has some very fierce competition going on. As we have Ryder, Stormy, Nick, Demon Lover, and Jake the Snake fighting for that 3rd spot. Then we have Side Effects, Mario, T-Dub, and Space Egg, followed by Skyline, Wood, Cutsy, King Barto and Bois, then Shady and Muffin, and finally Quarantine Cheese and Magic Monkey at the back. So we are now past the halfway mark of the race. School of Thugs making their way around the first bend. Stanky coming through as well with a much better angle, might be able to make some time up, trying to gain on that first place. Jake the Snake getting the bad inside line there and losing some spaces but blocking out Stormy, which means Ryder is currently taking that third spot. Jake pushing into fourth and Nick in fifth. T-Dub and Side Effects coming through out of nowhere to take the 6th and 7th, followed by Demon Lover, Stormy, Space Egg, Mario Hunter, Cutsy, Wood, Skyline, Boer and King Barto. So it looks like Stanky is really trying to gain here, losing quite a bit of time with that bounce though. Ryder getting a bounce there, losing some time. Jake trying to get some momentum on the inside line. Space Egg flies through but hits Jake, losing some time there. And Jake has fallen off on the straight down to the ladder. That is unfortunate for Jake. Jake will be DNF'd from this race after being one of the contenders for the top 5 point spots. They have crashed out on the final straight. So it looks like Budo is coming through with the last spot now. Budo's performance after making those bold statements has not been strong. In the last 2 races, Budo just could not get into the top points. It looks like today is no different unless he pulls something magic out on these last few laps. So we have School of Thugs in the first spot on the ladder. Stanky gaining some time, only 1 place behind on the ladder. Then there's a small gap down to Ryder and Demon Lover side by side fighting for 3rd. Then Nick, T-Dub, Mario and Space Egg fighting for that 5th spot for that 1 point. Then we have Wood, Boer, Side Effects and Stormy, followed by Skyline, then Cutsy, King Barto, Magic Monkey and Muffin. Then of course Shady and then Logan. So as they head down the track, it looks like Nick has got stuck there for a second, losing 2 places. Wood also getting a bad bounce. Nick gets pushed, but they are all grouped together here. Nick, Stormy, Boer, Wood, Side Effects and Skyline all fighting for positions, making contact with each other, trying to push each other out of the way. Let's see what happens on this corner and down to the sweeping bend. Wood getting a bad bounce there, losing out on 2 positions. So as they come down to this sweeping bend, everyone looking closer and closer together. Competition for these top 3 spots getting closer and closer. Can School of Thugs? No, School of Thugs will not get a good bounce there, meaning School of Thugs is now competing for first alongside Ryder and Stanky. T-Dub getting onto that part of the ladder on their own, followed by Space Egg, Demon Lover, Stormy, Nick and Mario. Big jump by Muffin trying to leap onto one of the ladders up ahead. That would have been amazing if they pulled it off, but unfortunately actually missing out on the ladder while trying that. So they are now down quite a few places. And Shady comes in quite far behind now. So after School of Thugs actually having a decent lead there, they have now been caught up by 2 people onto the ladder. So it's School of Thugs, Ryder and Stanky going to be competing for first as we go into lap 8. T-Dub just behind on their own. Then we have Space Egg, Demon Lover, Stormy, Nick and Mario Hunter side by side for the last point position. Wood, Boer, Cutsy, Skyline, Side Effects, Muffin, King Barto, Magic Monkey and then Shady. So they make their way up to the top of the ladder and drop down towards the first corner once again. School of Thugs making a run down the outside to make some distance. Has a lot of time to make back. Stanky just getting past Ryder. The top three have a bit of a gap before T-Dub, and then even bigger gap before the competition for fifth, which is currently being held by Mario. Stormy just behind, followed by Nick, Space Egg, and Demon Lover. Cutsy trying to catch up. So a few of our newcomers are actually fighting for this top 5. So we go down to watch the front runners here. School of Thugs with a bad bounce. Stanky with an even worse bounce, meaning Ryder's going to steal that top spot. T-Dub flying around with all that momentum. An incredible overtake across the top 3 there, taking first place down to the ladder. Ryder losing a lot of speed here. Nick coming flying through to try and do the same. Bit of a slowdown there. I mean, these 4 are going to be side by side coming up to the ladder, as T-Dub is already on it and in first place. School of Thugs having some trouble with race performance late into this race after holding a first spot for so long. And a big play by T-Dub there as we're on lap 9. So it is T-Dub in first, Nick, School of Thugs and Stanky just behind, Ryder, Mario and Cutsy following. Then there's a gap before Stormy and Space Egg. Then we have Demon Lover, Wood, Bwur and Muffin side by side. Following them is King Barto, then Skyline Side Effects next to each other. Magic Monkey, then there's a gap down to Shady Plays. And an even bigger gap down to Logan and then Budo. Not a good race for either of them two today. So we make our way up to the top of the ladder for lap 9. T-Dub now approaching the top. Let's see what happens for the second place spot here. Stanky taking the inside, which looks good, but unfortunately there is that triangle which will throw you off, meaning School of Thugs takes that second place. Stanky hot on the heels. Nick getting a bad bounce there. Stanky making the overtake back up into second. School of Thugs getting knocked back there. Nick coming through to gain some time on School of Thugs, going to be tailing them as they come down to the drop. Behind we have Cutsy and Ryder, Mario, Stormy, then Space Egg. So they drop down into the straightaway. T-Dub making some distance. School of Thugs with a decent run through there could actually make some momentum on T-Dubs, but a bad exit leaving them with less speed. Nick racing down with Stanky just behind. Mario, Cutsy and Ryder following. So everyone else flies in. Skyline with a very good overtake there, but then gets bounced before being able to get the overtake on Demon Lover. So still very closely packed in the midfield area. T-Dub making a breakaway. I've just seen in the chat, Quarantined Cheese is out. Is that so? Yes, they actually are. I must have missed that. What happened to Cheese? I'm assuming it was something to do with this corner here. I must have missed that. I don't know if that was caught on camera. If it was, then please clip that so I can review it afterwards and pop it in the Discord along with the other DNFs we've had today. But that is bad news for Cheese. So we have 3 DNFs of this race so far. So as we go on to the final lap, the positions are T-Dub with a nice lead on the ladder, School of Thugs in second, then Stanky and Nick side by side for that third spot, Mario, Ryder, Cutsy, Skyline, Space Egg, Stormy, Demon Lover, King Barto, Bwur, Side Effects, Muffin, Magic Monkey, Wood, Shady Plays, Logan and Budo. So here we go for the last lap. Can T-Dub hold this top spot? Will School of Thugs be able to hold second and pick up their first points of the season? Who will take third between Nick and Stanky? And how will this race finish? What will the top 5 results be for the points? So as we get a quick overview of the track here. T-Dub heading down the straight already. School of Thugs with quite a gap behind, and Stanky making a gap on Nick, Mario, Ryder, Cutsy, and then everyone is bunched up between Stormy, Demon Lover, Skyline and Space Egg. T-Dub getting a decent run into the curve. Doesn't look like they've lost too much time. They're rolling through slowly, but they have all the time in the world. Unless School of Thugs gets a really quick run out here, this could be a very close finish. No, I don't think School of Thugs can have the momentum, which means T-Dub takes the win on today's first race. School of Thugs coming through to take second. Stanky looks like they will be securing third. Nick coming down to take fourth spot, followed by Mario in fifth. They are our top 5 in the points. Then we have Ryder, Stormy, Cutsy, Demon Lover, Space Egg, and Skyline. Behind them, Side Effects, followed by Boer, then Muffin, then King Barto casually rocking back and forth round the corner. Magic Monkey and Shady fighting each other for position here, with Wood just behind. Wood carrying more speed there, making a last minute overtake on Magic, but getting blocked out by Shady. Shady just taking that spot. Then Wood, then Magic Monkey. Logan bouncing around from the back, and Budo miles behind in this race. As Logan makes their way round this bend, almost falling off the edge there, but taking 19th place, and Budo slowly making their way round and coming down to take 20th. So here is our winner of today's race, T-Dub. Very exciting race, a lot of positions switched around here. Our top 20 are the ones that survived. We lost 3 this race. So while we view our winner of today's race, I will input the results and be back with you in 2 minutes. Okay, so the results are in and have been submitted. And these are the results at the end of our first race of the day. So of course T-Dub getting those 6 points for the win, School of Thugs with 4, Stanky with 3, and Nick 2, and Mario taking 1 point, meaning the leaderboard is very close to the top right now. Boer still securing that top spot with 12. Budo and T-Dub drawing with 9 points for second. Side Effects and King Barto both with 8 points. Logan with 7, Magic Monkey and Wood with 6, Mario Hunter and Stanky with 5, Shady, Jake, Space Egg and School of Thugs with 4, Quarantine Cheese with 3, Nick with 2, and the rest currently with 0 points. So it's very close, still all to play for. Them top 3 spots very close together. At the top, everyone's very close together. Anyone could still take this. We are only halfway through the season. So if you still have them 0 points, if you get your game on for the last few tracks, you could still secure that number 1 spot on the leaderboard. We're getting 2 wins to make them 12 points, but not getting any points anywhere else. Which means people are starting to gain, so Boy will have to start getting some more points in the next races to try and keep hold of that number 1 spot on the leaderboard. So that is our first race of the stream. The second race will be the race 1. That is the name of it. So I will set up the next race and we'll be back in 2 minutes.